Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cuts. First of all, Ryan, sorry for your loss this week.
The Pope. Why the fuck's it on me?
Papa.
You're the one wearing green.
I am the one in green and black.
Yeah.
I'm mourning in my own way.
Look at mine.
If there's one thing Pope Francis loved, it was black combats. He loved to keep sweets in every pocket so he could entice kids to fuck.
I'm wearing a pair of Dickies.
Dickies had another thing he loved. Tiny Dickies.
We fucking... I reckon... Do you know, like, people were saying he was, like, the most progressive Pope,
yeah.
Sorry, I had a priest called Father
yeah.
Poke.
Did you? No.
P-O-L-K.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh, Poke as in poker.
Yeah, P-O-L.
Not Poke as in what you used to do on Facebook.
No, right. No, Poke. Yeah, but they always say he's, like, the most progressive Pope.
Mm-hmm. Pope.
You know, we're R.I.P. to a real one, but then you look at some of his quotes and they're like...
Oh, they're still...
And the one where he said...
Yeah.
And this is a quote from the Pope.
Yes. Just like, this is a very good introduction to today's episode. What if we say things today in the quote of a film or an actual quote, they're not coming from our own mouths. Yeah. Considering today's film, please be aware if we are quoting, these are not our actual thoughts or words we use on a day-to-day basis. So this is a very good introduction.
We haven't even got to the fucking film yet. This is actually a quote from the Pope. Mm-hmm. He said that the Vatican had an air of faggotry about it.
I mean,
and he's the
most progressive Pope there's ever been.
Do you reckon he had that planned? Like, you're sitting there one night going like, I need something to cut right through.
Yeah. I wonder why, like... You'd have thought, because he must have been on his way out, right?
Yeah.
He was on his way out.
Yeah.
He was very ill. I don't know what was it killed him. It was a stroke and a heart attack, I think. And he'd had pneumonia for months as well.
Oh, no, he had pneumonia, yeah.
And you would have thought, could they have lied and said he went on Easter Sunday?
Oh,
because it's a lot. Symbolically, that's a good thing to happen.
Yeah.
As a Easter, does anyone call it fucking Easter Monday?
Nah.
What's the Saturday? Because there's Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, Saturday, Easter Sunday, Easter Monday. What is Saturday? Is Saturday just a fucking...
Just watch the Premiership and waiting. Wait to something happen.
It's the biggest coupon Judas has ever put on. Fucking money Judas has laid down today. If that accumulator comes in, he's in with a fortune. You
imagine how much he did shit it though.
What, Judas?
Aye. If you heard after all that, the cunt is now gone from it, you would. He did top himself, didn't he? It depends on. Yeah, it depends on what book you read in the thing. Like, there's one where he like.
Surely there's only one. The Bible is the only.
But there's like 4 different versions of what happens to Judas afterwards. There's one. I'm pretty sure in one of them he like cuts out his own intestines and shit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that's extreme.
I told you I played Judas in a school play.
Yeah,
and I was just like, why did you have this part?
Yeah. Was it of the Easter story?
No, it was the Nativity.
Why the fuck was Judas near the Nativity?
I don't know. I don't like the teacher like me.
But wait a minute.
Like, just let me be a sunflower or something.
But then Judas, if Judas was in the Nativity, then
he must have been a fair bit older.
Come Good Friday. So say Judas, even if he was like in his early 20s in the Nativity, he's then 54.
Yeah, he's not 54.
He's not fucking inviting... He's not getting to the Last Supper anyway. It's like inviting an uncle to a stag do. It's not fucking...
I mean, I presume that back in them days, 33 or something was the life expectancy anyway.
Aye, exactly. Aye,
Yeah, fuck that.
But yeah, Saturday never gets a fucking mention.
Well, I suppose the reason is because, like, nothing happened on Saturday because they just thought he was dead.
Well, that's true. I suppose it would be a day of reflection and
a reflection.
Yeah,
some might have went too far.
Aye, poor bastards cleaning up that cross. Fucking nails in this. Jesus Christ! Did they need to hammer them in so hard?
Oh God! I always find it really funny they stabbed them too.
Yeah. Just to really
like. Yeah. I think that's to suffocate them. Yeah, isn't it?
Do you know that scene in Goodfellas where after they've done the airport heist?
Yeah.
And De Niro's basically told them all, don't fucking make it look like you've come into money. And then they all come in, like there's a new car parked outside, and then he makes one of the wives take off their fur coat. Do you reckon Judas was like that on the Saturday? Just desperately trying to not show he's been into money. Refusing to buy rounds and stuff. Just fucking
great.
So we halving this, are we?
That's great. That's like when Eugene, I told you about when Eugene won $3,000 when my mum went on a holiday with her friend to Tunisia.
Right.
And Eugene won, like, they just moved to Dunfanaghy. So it was like new guys in the town.
Fucking names of those places.
Right.
Dunfanaghy.
Yeah, Dunfanaghy, right? And Eugene won like $3,000 on a horse race.
Right.
And then blew it all in one night.
Jesus.
On drinks for the town.
Yo, fucking. Oh, so he can't even. The word's going to get around, yeah.
So what happens is my mum comes back. You shouldn't be gambling, whatever. I come to. I was there. Like I came back from fucking wherever. Right? This must have been about 2008 or 9 or something, right? And mum comes back and he's like, nothing happened because he came back utterly. He could barely walk in the door. I had to drag him up the stairs, right? And he goes, hey, not a word of this to your mum because I blew all of it as well, right? So walking down the street the next day, new to the town, right? Walking down, every third person in the street's like, Eugene!
Immediately a legend.
Like immediately a legend in the whole town.
That's incredible.
So my mum was just staring at the side of his head, walking like, what happened last night? And everybody's like, Eugene, fucking hero.
That's
like,
fucking wonderful.
Very funny.
That is absolutely
That's some
wonderful.
amount of rounds, like.
Jesus, aye.
Like, yeah.
$3,000, and I imagine, like, what, in Dunfanaghy, I'm not expecting.
No, there's only
the drink's only going to cost that much.
I reckon he's in like, I don't know how much the money was, but it was in the grands. Like, it might have been $1 or $2,000, but either way, it was in the grand worth. Anyway. But he went and fucking like started blasting it in the various different pubs.
I must
have bought the whole town 6 drinks at least.
I don't think I would love to do that. I had to explain to Seamus the other day, and it was very difficult to explain it to him. He was questioning why, if you get a hole in one, traditionally you should buy everyone in the clubhouse a drink. And he was like, how's that fair? You're the only one that's achieved something. So why are you then out of pocket? Surely everyone should be buying you a drink. And I was like, that's a good fucking point, actually. Why do you have to? That's fucking ridiculous. It's like an incentive not to get. Like, I'd be raging if I got a hole in one and the fucking clubhouse was packed.
Getting a hole in one and dropping to your knees. Oh, I'm so broke.
Exactly, yeah. Imagine getting a hole in one and having to take a loan out.
You're coming back and your wife's coming back from work and the fuck. She's like, what the fuck? For sale sign, the house boarded up.
I've got some good news and some bad news. Good news is I got a hole in one.
Bad news is you're living with your mum again. Oh,
what's the most you reckon you've ever spent on a night out?
Oh, at least 20 quid. Nah. On a night out. Oh, Jesus, I spent quite a lot the last night recently in a jazz bar. You know,
I remember that
night. Because I looked up and I spent like 180 quid there.
Well, that'd be the cost of drinks though as well.
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah, it was all drinks. Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah. There was, I don't know. I was feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like it would be around that. Like,
yeah. Well, I think. Well, it depends, because I was actually
just drugs are involved.
Well, yeah. See, I would take that stuff out of it because I was thinking,
drinks, okay.
on just a night of drinks, I reckon at 180, 200 is probably the maximum.
Yeah.
Because because then I was thinking like there was a night we were on a stag do in Prague, and we went to strippers and stuff, and I like had a fucking bank receipt thing where I'd taken out 500 at 5 a.m, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, this was when I could not afford 500 quid. This was well into the overdraft as well.
Lovely.
And just like looking at my pocket, and I hadn't spent, but I only had about 220 left, and that was 8 a.m. I was like, how the fuck have I managed to spend
that's actually hard to do,
280 quid in 3 hours and
smashing, trying your best to get like strippers on the Lacoste window. I need a jumper.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is because I was going to ask you who's favourite for the new Pope.
Oh, aye.
But we'll save that.
Dickinson.
We'll say Idris. Imagine Idris. Big Idris.
Big Idris as the Pope.
I will save that for the Patreon, actually.
Okay,
Because
right.
we'll look up, in between the gap, I'll look up, because I don't even know the front runners. I don't even know if you can bet on the new Pope.
Oh, that'd be great.
I don't know whether that's allowed, is it?
Getting a wee fucking tip. I don't know. I haven't watched Conclave yet.
No, neither have I.
That would
Apparently
be-
it's great.
Yeah, that would be a good one to.
Yeah.
It's Darren Aronofsky, isn't it?
Yeah, and like apparently it's proper, like it's almost like a mafia mob film.
Yeah, yeah.
The way all the fucking cardinals act within the Vatican and stuff.
Proper pile driver and kids and all in between.
Aye. Here's another thing I was going to ask you about Easter. In Ireland, when you were growing up, see Easter eggs, because I think we could all agree that Easter eggs are shite now.
Yeah.
Go back,
But they were definitely better, yeah.
we get kids. I mean, I'm not. I know the size and the shrinkflation and all that kind of shit. But did you see when you were growing up? Did you get mugs with Easter eggs?
No.
No.
I've seen them, though, but I just personally didn't. Yeah, yeah.
See, this was when up until I was maybe about 12, every Easter egg came with a mug. So you get a Mars Easter egg, you get a Mars bar mug. You get a Cadbury's one, you get a
wait a
Cadbury's one.
minute. No, I did.
Yorkies were the fucking best.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. I definitely had one
And
or two
they
cups.
weren't like, they were like
Good cups.
scaffolders mugs.
Aye, good cups, yeah.
So you used to get, like, so you'd get an Easter egg for your parents. Your probably grandparents would buy you an Easter egg. Maybe the neighbours would get you an Easter egg. School would get you a fucking Easter egg. So you'd end up
Your
with like,
school and neighbours got you an Easter egg.
yeah.
Christ.
You used to get like, so you'd be sitting in your room with like 4 mugs, like big adult, like a fucking 6-year-old, like a bedroom, like a mechanic. Fucking mugs.
You're
everywhere.
going to be working very early in the morning. You're going to need these.
It's brilliant.
That's great.
Doesn't happen at all.
I realise now that as soon as you said, "Oh, do you have a Mars bar and a Yorkie mug?" Back
Yeah.
in Donegal, I'm like, that is where that came from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you would never buy them otherwise.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you got them free with some shit.
Of an Easter egg. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I never did that thing where you hide them around and shit. That was never a thing back home.
We do, well, I'll do a thing on Easter morning where I'll chuck, like, you can get this thing from Aldi, which is like 25 wee eggs, like that size, and then there's one big golden egg. And I'll go out on Easter Sunday morning and fucking chuck them in the garden. And then the kids go out for 10 minutes try to find them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from last year when a fox, I did it the night before because I was like, I don't want to get up in the morning because they get up early. And we came out in the morning, there was just wrappers everywhere. A fucking fox had tanned all the eggs.
Kids in
Didn't even,
tears.
didn't even know they liked chocolate foxes.
No, I didn't think so.
Thought it was glacier mints.
I don't know why. Fuck off. Fuck off. That was good.
That wasn't even a
No,
attempt.
that wasn't even
was
one of your ones.
no.
That was just I could tell by your delivery that just came. Like I know they're not really dogs, but isn't it not like you can't give chocolate to dogs and they die or something? Is that a load of shite?
Well, yeah, I have heard something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something you can't give pigeons as well, or they'll explode.
Rice.
Is it rice? Is that
Yeah,
it?
because it like makes their bellies kind of go and then they
Oh,
explode.
right.
Aye. That's why there's no
Jesus.
pigeons in Asia. There's no birds.
That's true, actually. You'd think Tiananmen Square, there'd be fucking shitloads of them, but not a one in Tiananmen Square.
Flying over rice fields like, oh, I'm so hungry. You fucking kidding? Yeah. Jesus, a good laugh.
Yeah, right. We'll look at that for the Patreon. We'll both pick a pope, and then we'll see. Well, let's have a bet between the two of us.
Well, yeah,
over who becomes the next pope.
Let's do it because we also have like. Because I know I've talked about it before, but like remember, like Eugene was named after a pope, and when you look into their back details, some of them are just fucking mental.
Yeah.
Which one was the goalkeeper? Ratzinger.
Ratzinger, yeah, he was a keeper.
He was.
And then it's widely regarded like John Paul II. He's like he's the goat.
Back home he is, isn't he?
Aye, because that like fucking people would have that on their mantle, like a picture of him on their mantelpieces in Ireland, wouldn't they?
I used to do stand up with a t-shirt of him. I'll put it on the Patreon. There's a picture of me absolutely wrecked on stage, but it's a John Paul II t-shirt.
He played Glasgow. He played Bellahouston Park.
What do you mean you played?
Well, he did, well, not a gig. I suppose it was a gig. He did a mass
Played.
at Bellahouston Park.
Imagine that, the Pope at the Barrowlands.
Fucking like it massive. Like I didn't live in Glasgow at the time, but I saw the papers.
Oh, wow.
There's fucking thousands upon thousands of people
Yeah.
turning out.
Aye. Vatican's good crack though.
Don't know who supported them.
The popes.
Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon. That'd be great. Yeah. This is good. This week's episode, right, is one that, like, the last time we did an episode involved purely on racism was immediately like, was it the single day downloads? People were just like,
it's our most. I looked the other day to check our most popular ever episode in terms of the amount of downloads is Blade, because that was our first one. Then it's Independence Day, because that was our second one.
Okay.
Then it's American History X, which was about our 53rd one.
they're just ready.
And
for
it's
it.
not a particularly well recorded one either, because you were in Australia, so we did it over Zoom. But it was a lot of people going, how the fuck? And I listened back to it, and we actually navigate it quite well.
Okay.
However, I think American History X was an easier film to make funny than Mississippi Burning.
I watched it. I watched it so late last night.
Yeah.
Like, started at midnight and just like watching it going,
Yeah, I think this episode, unless... Well, I might be wrong, but it might be more of a film podcast this week than a comedy podcast.
Honestly, there is 3 or 4 points that I shat myself laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
I'll get to them.
There are some funny bits.
There are some really funny bits.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things I didn't remember this being this good. I thought,
it's incredible.
I thought this was fucking class.
Although I'm going to talk later on about this film was widely like fucking I'll talk about the Oscars as well, because it never actually got nominated. I don't think it got nominated for best film.
Okay.
But like it was massively critically acclaimed when it first came out. Like people going, it's the film of the year easily. And then since then it's come under massive criticism.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it because it
mostly from Spike Lee?
Oh, right. Is it because the movie the movie goes, the FBI, friend of the black man?
Yes.
When it literally the worst cons possible.
That is a lot of it. Yes.
Yeah. In fairness, I do get that. Like when I was watching loads of it, I was just like,
yeah. Because if you actually look at it, the FBI fucking hated the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
And actively tried to stop it. And spied on people like Martin Luther King. Like,
Like,
the whole illegally tapped phones and shit. So.
So most of it, I definitely get that. I would be looking at it going like, this is kind of like painting over a lot of the.
Yeah.
But good film though.
Yeah.
I did laugh at. What is it? Sorry, you would say there.
Well, I was just going to tell you the reason we're doing it, but you tell us the first thing that you found funny about this racially.
Oh well, no. First of all, it reminded me of something I've done.
Right.
I've told you about
lynched a man.
No, close enough. I tried to burn a cross in someone's garden. Have I said this on the podcast?
No.
Oh my God. I had I nearly caused a fucking scene. Right.
Okay.
So in Letterkenny, in the hospital I was born, my friend Laura, right, from Donegal, lived in Letterkenny, lived across from the hospital. And she was my friend in college, and she is a Protestant. Mm-hmm. So I was at her. She was in a wheelchair at the time because she jumped off a balcony and broke her heels. Right. It was not part of the story really when I said that.
But no, it's a good intro.
Add-on. It's a good add-on because what we did is she was in a wheelchair and we lifted her wheelchair and just fucked it into the field next door. So she was crawling around on her.
Right. Okay.
Very funny night. We're all absolutely hammered in her garage. Her parents were asleep in the actual house. Right.
Right.
We got so wankered that I thought it would be a good idea to burn a cross in her front garden because she's Protestant, right?
Right.
So I got as far as making the cross in her front garden and covering it in oil.
Was it from wood?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The cover, the middle bit of the cross was a shovel. I just took the head off a shovel. The rest of it was a thing, right?
Right.
But it took so long that thankfully I'd sobered up before I lit the thing on fire. And the guy Thomas was with me. He was like, I actually don't know if this is a good idea. We're getting across from the thing. I was like, well, it'd be funny to burn a Protestant. His parents are going to wake up and go, what the fuck, there's a burning cross in our garden. And I'll be like, Catholics, what?
Yeah.
But then I realised that's not how it's going to be perceived by literally anyone. Across from the hospital, who'd be waking up out of their cancer treatment and looking out and you see a burning cross in the front garden.
That is one of the most mental things you've ever said to me that you've done.
Burning a
like
cross.
At no point did any of that, did I think, that was a good idea, actually.
No, I thought it was a very funny idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talked out of the actual lighting, but I got as far as oiling up.
What did you oil? Did you
That was
actual oil?
Literally just oil we could find in the garage because we were
Right.
drinking in the garage.
So you made it black as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Just to really rub it in?
Aye,
You
aye.
made the Burning Cross black
And look,
beforehand?
like I did have hair at the time, but imagine if it was. You're imagining me now because I look like everyone in this film, and not the good side,
no.
not the fucking good
No.
side at all. you know?
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes.
If that had happened, then...
So when and like William Dafoe sees a cross in the burning garden is running out, that could have been Laura's parents.
Fucking hell.
Mm.
It's the fact that you turfed her out of the wheelchair first as well.
Yeah.
Good God.
And not once did I go, well, this is obviously
What are we
this isn't
doing here?
racism,
No.
this is sectarianism.
Yeah, fine. I'm not racist.
We're both white.
Yeah, of course.
Nobody.
The
Imagine.
only colour I hate's blue.
I actually think that would have made the news.
Yes.
A burning cross at
I'm
the front
fairly
of
certain.
a burning cross. I would
In front of a hospital.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm fairly certain that would. I'm fairly certain we'd have heard of that.
I think Laura's parents must have been. I wonder if Laura's dad went into the garage and just was like, "Where the fuck's all my?
Where's my shovel?
Where the fuck's my shovel in half and black with oil?" Yeah. So yeah.
Do you reckon? See what I wondered about the clan.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to talk about the clan as well later on.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they've just got a shitload of crosses? Like, do they stock make them?
Aye. There's yeah.
Because like
They're all quick.
the size of the one that they burn in this one, it's fucking huge.
Aye.
Right, it's about 12 foot tall.
Yeah.
So that's taken
And they're ready to go.
that's taken a decent amount. First of all, to get the sizing and then to nail it all. I don't even know how you nail it all together. But that's taken a while. So is there a month where they go, we need to stockpile crosses for burning?
A wee fucking warehouse.
Do you know what I mean? Like, aye.
Stock day Fridays. The women are making the linen. The lads are nailing in crosses.
Yeah. Like, do you get, if you're a local carpenter, does someone come, do you
Now,
get
what do you need
give
this
a
for?
quote?
I need.
Don't you worry about why we need it.
Yeah. Don't
Just make
you be
me
worried.
60 crosses.
Is this
12-foot crosses?
No, I need them big. I need them big. I need to be a show. Yeah. Fucking yeah. Ow. Yeah.
Even putting them in the ground would take a shitload of effort.
Aye, because they're massive.
Aye.
They need to be deep.
Yeah.
Did you like? No, they're nerds. That's what they are, aren't they?
The clan.
Aye.
They
Well, they would run around, like, dress up, call each other wizards.
they have the same names as you people that play the games. They're
dungeons.
very, very similar to the Dungeons and Dragons.
I agree. I agree. Is it Grand Wizard? Is like the.
I'm going to get the names of people in the Ku Klux Klan. This will just give me actual members, I reckon. Names of positions.
Yeah. Doggy style.
Since in the... I'll just go clan and assume that Google knows. Here we go.
You're going to get the Wu-Tang
Ku
Clan, aren't
Klux,
you?
Ku Klux Klan. See, that's another thing I always forget. It's Ku Klux. It's not Ku Klux.
Yeah.
Ku Klux. It's Ku Klux.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is to rock up to a meeting and get the name wrong.
Yeah.
Right, the vocabulary.
Right, yeah. What's the one that's the dude that's red? There's usually sometimes
think
there's a dude in
he's-
big red.
See, this isn't giving me the fucking the titles. I need the titles, damn it.
Is this like the IRA and the provisional IRA?
Leaders of the Ku Klux Klan. So, yeah, so the Grand Wizard. There's an Imperial Wizard.
Oh,
So the national leader will be called the Grand Wizard or the Imperial Wizard.
okay, right. Imperial Wizard does sound.
But then there's
Harrowing.
something. There's something about in this film. The deputy gets called. There's Grand Dragons as well.
Fucking
Jesus fucking Christ!
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they do that. It's like, were you ever a thing? Are you the
At one
crown
point, he
prince?
asks him, "Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I can't find them anyway."
It's like,
they've all got different coloured hoods
yeah.
as
Are
well.
are you a bird in the Ku Klux Klan?
But they're a fucking. Is the clan still about?
Aye.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like absolutely. Why,
Yeah.
why would they not be? I mean, America's a race war. It's not that much different at the moment. Just a little bit more,
Yeah.
theatrical, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you know what a racist has for breakfast?
What?
Special KKK.
God.
Just came in there. Desperately trying to think of a KKK joke. That's all I could think
Fuck's
of.
sake.
So yeah, the reason we're doing this film is because Gene Hackman died, and I didn't feel like we'd given enough of a tribute to Gene Hackman. So I thought I'll pick one of his films, and it was either going to be this or The Firm,
Okay.
which is a great film.
Okay.
And I picked this because I hadn't seen it in years. Because I think, and to talk about Gene Hackman for a wee bit, it's a weird thing to say, but I think I told you at the time, I have never felt such relief to find out how he died. Right? And it's a horrible thing to say, but when it came out, and then it came out, oh yeah, his much younger wife died as well. Oh, and she, and then suddenly folk are going, well, it's going to be fucking one of them.
He's going to be Benoit.
It's going to be Benoit.
He's going to be
yeah.
Benoit.
It would be a much weaker Benoit.
Yeah.
You can't compare 89-year-old senile Gene Hackman to fucking testosterone jacked up Chris Benoit.
Yeah, Gene Jackman.
Yeah, and then the fact that the dog fucking died as well, and then so I was like preparing myself for this. Oh no, this is going to be horrible. It's going to come out that he's fucking blown them all away or something like that. And then it just turns out they died in like the most horrific circumstances.
What was it? Is it the dog and the wife died basically in her sleep?
The wife died, but
the dog was locked in the room and it just starved because Gene was wandering around.
He just wandering about, not knowing what the fuck was going on.
Oh fuck!
It was horrible. But then they found out like their house was a breeding ground for some kind of parasite or disease, which meant rats came in and all sorts of shit. Like, I mean, it was just a fucking Wuhan lab of a house.
Yeah. Okay.
And then and because they weren't reclusive, but they just lived a very, very quiet life in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So very few people were going in and checking up on them because he'd kind of removed himself completely from Hollywood because he went, fuck this, can't be arsed with this anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, a massive relief that he died in a horrific way, as opposed to being a murderer.
I thought you were going to say like it would have been the opposite. Like if he killed them all, you would have been, oh, thank God, went out a king.
I consider Gene Hackman to be the greatest actor of all time.
I know you've said this, right?
Yeah.
I didn't, but he's so good in this anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know. He's so good in this.
I don't think anyone, maybe my pal Chris from school would agree with me. And I can understand why people wouldn't agree with me.
I don't just, I guess, seen him well enough
but
of it. Or...
I don't think, when I say, like, you can name very, very few bad Gene Hackman films. I think I can name two.
Okay.
Superman 4 and piece of shit he's in with Hugh Grant. It's called like Extreme Measures or something like that.
Okay, right.
Everything else, and even in those, he's good.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I think I know why, because I was thinking about this on the way over. When you look at the greatest actors, right? So Gene Hackman, right, pretty much plays Gene Hackman in every film.
Yeah.
Like Gene Hackman in this is largely the same as Gene Hackman is in Unforgiven.
Yeah.
Right? De Niro pretty much plays De Niro.
Yeah.
Pacino pretty much plays Pacino. And when they do deviate from it, I mean,
Jack and Jill.
but even De Niro in Meet the Parents, it's still it's just domesticated De Niro.
Yeah.
And that's when I think you become... Nicholson's the fucking best example. Nicholson only ever plays Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
In everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you become one of the greatest actors, when you just play you.
Yeah.
But that slots into every single film possible.
Yeah. Like, Tom Cruise. Nah, but he was so good in this, I must say. I don't remember this film. I thought I'd remember some of it when I watched it. I don't even remember a fucking scene in it.
No?
And then I didn't remember William Dafoe was in it for a start. 22nd of July.
Yeah, just after Platoon.
Aye, he's so good. I didn't know Frances McDormand's in it. She's unbelievable.
I forgot she was in it. Yeah.
It's looking all right too.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know Frances in it, but
she's got a very profound chin.
She does.
Frances McDormand. I noticed.
And in this film, she took a punch or two to it. She's got a
She
strong chin.
She has got a strong chin.
Strong chin.
She does.
Now, I did laugh my fucking arse off at the very first scene is a church burning, right? And the cast's coming up, right? And it just came up Michael Rooker, and I go, oh,
Yeah.
wonder what part he's going to be playing.
Yeah. Rooker was a fucking proper
Like, Rooker
evil
is
bastard in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, like, he is a perfect bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, hardened. He reminds me of Eugene. Not because of this.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but like, you know, like even fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Aye.
If I had to play Eugene, I would get Michael Rooker.
He is a great baddie.
He is. Even in Walking Dead. Do you remember Walking Dead?
Yeah. There's some fucking people in this. Like, I totally forgot the leader of the clan. And the leader of the Mississippi clan is fucking Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day.
Is that who that is? Stephen
Tobolowsky. Yeah.
Yeah, I know his face. I don't know.
Like, what the fucking hell? Like,
Yeah.
Because this is like early. This must have been one of Frances McDormand's first ever roles. That must be one of his first ever roles.
Yeah, it's bound to be. Yeah.
You know who else pops up in his first ever role? Jigsaw. Tobin Bell.
Who's oh, is that who that is?
He's one of the you know when they decide, when Defoe goes, right, we're going to do it your way now, and Hackman goes, my people, and he brings all these fucking corrupt FBI agents. Tobin Bell's one of them.
Yes, I remember that.
And he's a proper badass. He's like shuts a guy's fucking hand in the cash register.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Fucking hell. That's who that is. Yeah, there's a couple of people that did. You know the guy that William Dafoe keeps bullying around too? I know him from shit.
He's in loads of stuff.
Yeah. I was like, I know his fucking face.
The guy he just keeps barking, get more men.
Get more men. But what departments? Just fucking get them.
Buy the hotel. Buy the hotel.
That's right. Buy it. How he's asking proper, reasonable questions. Now, how high can I go? And he goes, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, you know.
He comes back like at 2 million. What? What?
The entire FBI budget for the year gone.
Bought in a fucking motel. What are we going to do with a motel, John?
Hoover up in Washington, removing a fucking pool cue, a pool ball from his mouth and a dick from his arse, going, 2 million? What?
Good cast. Good. Everybody's really good. And William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Actually, there's funny. I would consider probably William Dafoe in the top 3 best actors of all time.
He is good.
I reckon
he'd
he'd be definitely in the top 3 for me, you know.
I read a thing about Willem Dafoe the other day, and it was the day before I'd even picked this film, right?
Okay.
Do you know he's in a film called Antichrist?
I've seen it, yeah.
Where he gets his cock out.
Yeah. Sorry, scissors a clit off.
Yeah.
So
Do you know?
Have you seen Antichrist?
Yeah, it's fucking. Do you know they they had to CGI his cock because it was too big. Like, apparently he's got like a fucking monster, and he looks like a guy that would have a monster of a dick.
Yeah,
Willem Dafoe.
Fair play to him.
Like I can't even begin to imagine the shagging Willem Dafoe did in the 70s. I cannot even fathom the mental, coke-fueled, massive cocked, lizard-faced shagging that Willem Dafoe did in the 70s and 80s must have been insane.
Look, I know you're chatting about me here.
You share a lot of the qualities of Dafoe.
We're both born on the 22nd of July.
Really? You've both got massive, deformed dicks.
Yeah.
You both very ugly people.
Yeah. Okay.
Bizarre looking creatures.
Bizarre looking creatures. All right. Yeah.
But a slight.
Both are the greatest. both the greatest in our field. He's so good in this. I've never actually seen him play he isn't straight edge at all in this, but he's also kind of reason.
Aye.
Even though he gets a little bit fucking.
Yeah, even right from the start, we're like fucking.
I fucking love that scene where he pulls the gun on him.
Oh, it's
and Gene
so
Hackman's
good.
like, yeah, you would have show you absolutely.
Yeah, that's so fucking good. It's the fact that Hackman does it twice in this film, where he does the most degrading thing you can do to another man, where he slaps him.
Oh,
he does it. He does it to the fucking deputy as well.
Yeah.
An open hand slap, but he does it to Defoe because Defoe.
It's like an overhand.
Because Defoe knows he's going to lose his shit because Frances McDormand has been beat up by her husband as a deputy. And then Defoe hears about it first. So he's like, I better go over to the hospital. And he's like, tell Anderson to get here. Don't tell him why, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And then Gene Hackman walks in and sees her and then just turns around. Defoe runs after him and then he fucking goads him. And there's like, because he's goading him and then he delivers a line where he's like, just because I don't like fooling around with witnesses. And then Hackman just slaps him in the face.
It's so funny. It was like an overhand, like proper takes the head off him nearly.
Oh my God.
That was good because they kind of fight and he's like, you fucking listen. And
Yeah.
then he was like, I'll do my way. And then Gene Hackman's like, all right.
Fucking brilliant. The chemistry between the two of them.
I think they're excellent
phenomenal.
together. Yeah.
The fact that Mr. Anderson is just constantly
like the Matrix.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, the whole time. He's even said like the
Mr.
guy from the Matrix.
Mr. Yeah, even kind of looks
Yeah.
like fucking Viggo. Is it Mortensen? No,
I can't remember that. Agent Smith, I can't remember his name.
Is this Viggo Mortensen, or is that who plays?
No, that's not. Viggo Mortensen's a
Is
far
that
too famous
Aragorn?
actor for. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who plays Agent Smith. But even I've the phone, like even from the start we were like fucking Hackman singing the song, wee jaunty song about the Klan.
Aye, that's right.
Ain't no bearing in the Ku Klux Klan. And it goes, just the facts, Mr. Anderson. I could do without the cabaret.
That's great. You know, they always have, like, racists always have, their songs are always shite.
Yeah.
You remember Screwdriver and stuff? I've told you, I'm not going to get into that story again, but all their stories are all fucking, it's always like the white man marches on, and this like,
Yeah. Hackman's got some, we were talking about this just before we start recording.
the lines in it.
He's fucking hard as shit in this film.
Yeah.
Proper hard as fuck. Like when he goes into so first of all he does the barber shop
Yeah.
where he's kind of like going, I'm hard. But then going into the social club where all the racists are drinking, like illegally drinking because it's a dry county. And just to go into all of them and then just fucking sit, and then Rooker starts giving him out shit and he's like, listen to me, you cornhole fucker. And then he because he's fucking got him like that. And then Hackman just grabs his balls.
That's
just
so
immediately
good.
grabs his balls and he's like, listen up, shit kicker.
Yeah.
Like,
So good because his whole demeanor changes.
oh fuck, he just
So good.
keeps squeezing the fucking, and then he twists him at the end and throws him off. Fucking brilliant.
What was that line about the deputy?
That's in the barbershop at the end where he's shaving him and he just keeps cutting him. And he starts going on about his stupid smile. It's like, and the speech it goes, you did the white man proud. Did you do the white man proud? Did you beat your wife? Did you do your white man? Did you smile when they fucking ran over the black kid? Did you do that stupid smile, deputy? And he's slapping him again. It's like, make no mistake, deputy. I'll cut your fucking head clean off.
That's it. I don't give a fuck what the reports say. Yeah, cut your head clean
good,
off.
man.
Make no mistake of it, deputy. I'll cut your head clean
Jesus
off. I was
Christ.
like, excellent. Big fan of a Hackman. I've been a hard man. Because he isn't necessarily a hard man all the time in it, you know. Oh, no. In fairness, William Dafoe did have... I love the way we've actually covered everything bar the racism so far in the show. But we will get to it.
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
If you came here for two white guys talking about racial issues,
You're going to get it.
We got you.
They, he was right though. William Dafoe's character, he was fraternizing with, like trying to bang.
he was
trying to bang Frances McDormand, kept begging her flowers, and now, one of the parts I laughed at the most was when he's chatting her up, right, and he starts like kind of going into basically how his ex-wife, is like, what about you? And it's the delivery of one of his lines. He's like, I guess she got tired of, getting postcards from Des Moines or whatever and stuff like that. And then he just starts going, and then, there was always a man in the house, And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then he just kind of says it like this. And he goes, anyway, she left. It was like nearly she left.
Yeah.
And I fucking I only spat out my tea. I don't know why I found it so funny.
McDormand's horny for him immediately.
Oh, she's like
literally the first time she sees him on the street, she fucking literally drops the pants immediately.
Gushing.
So weird. You don't really get
gushing.
But I suppose she'd be he would still be quite a lot older than her.
Yeah,
I imagine in this film.
Yeah, you'd imagine.
But you don't get that kind of relationship much in films.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, nobody wants to see it.
No, there is a sex scene. There was a sex scene filmed.
Yeah.
Where him and McDormand pumped, but they took it out because they just went, "There's no need for this."
No need
they
for
do. I think they do get off with each other after she tells him where the bodies are buried. They are in the silhouette, and they do get off with each other.
Say, he completely fucks her life.
Oh,
right?
aye.
He comes in, right? Now, she shouldn't be with, obviously, a fucking clan dude, like, or whatever, right? But what happens is she comes in, he goes in, starts fucking hitting on her, right? Gets her to turn on the husband. Should, good, right? Pumps her, we think.
Gets her leathered.
Gets her leathered, gets her head kicked in, and her house completely wrecked. And then comes in and goes, anyway, how are you going to get on now?
Yeah.
He basically goes, where are you going to go now? He's like, I'm staying here. He goes, anyway, I'll see you around.
Well, after this film, she's fucked.
She's totally, now the whole...
like this is kind of what I can understand with folk, because folk kind of go, like, a lot of criticism is this is that it makes the FBI out to be these saviors of this, and I kind of agree with it where they go, like, some people are going, well, the black people are shown to be completely passive about this. Like, whenever you see a black person in this, they're either being abused or they're singing. That's literally it. That's all they fucking do.
Yeah.
They either take a beating or they sing.
Yeah.
And the folk are going, well, it doesn't really show the empowerment. And you were like, I don't know how much empowerment there would really be.
I don't think the film was about empowerment.
No.
It was like, it's not like I disagree with that, because I don't think that was about it. I don't think the film's about black empowerment whatsoever. It's about fucking the opposite. It's like the white horror.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, that's all it's focused on. It's following the people. Like,
because what I took from it, like, when people were saying, like, oh, it shows black people to be weak, I was like, I got they were just more resigned to hear about, like,
it just didn't follow that part of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's parts where they mention there's the activists, but they didn't even get into it. It shows you, like, there's all the marches that were going on during the thing, and it's just everything around it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have been a good idea to try and turn it into fucking Selma in the middle of it as well.
No.
I mean, like, it's pretty much trying to hit it home how fucking nasty.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, they had that fucking excellent line by Hackman about God, it was such a good line about these people crawled from the sewers.
Yeah.
So maybe we should be in the gutter.
Yeah.
Cleaning the gutter, whatever the fuck it was. And you're like, that is what the film's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was trying to do that.
'Cause there's a bit-
I think they're looking too much there now.
The bit when they eventually get that wee kid to testify about what he's seen, and then for some reason drive him to the police station with a cardboard box in his head, like, literally could have done. Why a cardboard? Why the fucking? Why is he like a robot?
Yeah.
But then when the trial happens and the judge comes on and goes, "Oh, yes, you have committed crimes, but they've been influenced by external forces with the bad means, and so I'm going to sentence you all to 5 years imprisonment, but I'm going to suspend the sentences." And then it cuts to the gallery and the balcony of all the black people, and they have just got that look of going, oh, of course, like,
same old.
It's the same fucking story again and again and again. So that's why I didn't think they were ever weak. I just thought they were resigned to, like, fuck all will ever change.
It just didn't follow it.
Yeah, and then when someone does stand up, the fucking guy stands up and goes, "I ain't gonna take any of this shit no more." And then they hang the fucker. Like,
Oh, that was fucking
Jesus. That was brutal.
That was a brutal. Yeah, that was pretty.
I was trying to think. I think that must be one of the only films I've ever seen someone actually being hung
properly.
Yeah,
like showing the process.
Yeah,
it was awful.
Yeah,
that was a dire watch. Now,
oh God, yeah. And the wee kid cut them down at the end. Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
On me. I was like, Jesus Christ.
The wee kid's the bravest motherfucker in the whole film.
Yeah,
he's harder than Hackman.
Yeah, he is.
Takes a boot to the face.
Now,
that's the other bit you find funny.
I am ashamed, Mark, at how much I cried laughing at the scene where, like, it was frightening. The scene starts really frightening. They're coming out of the church. Black churches, they seem like a good laugh.
Yeah.
I hate church.
Yeah.
I don't go anymore, obviously, but when I was a kid, I was like bored shitless.
Yeah.
Like, black churches seem like they've got it all going on.
Gospel choirs make a church fun.
Yeah, I'd probably still be religious if they were still banging in them bangers left, right, and center. But anyway, they come out of the church and they all had, like, the fucking hoods on, waiting for them. I was like, oh, that was horrible. Look, you can hear the screams, everybody runs, right? But the one kid goes down to his, and he starts praying. I was like, this is good. This is all really fun. Like, this is really harrowing, really good message.
But you think that's it over?
Michael Rooker comes up and just fucking kicks him in the chin.
Yeah.
Like, it's meant to be. Obviously, it's a horrible scene.
Yeah.
But I just fucking died laughing.
Yeah.
And he'd run up and boot the kid that's praying.
Yeah.
I fucking lost it. And you know what else I lost it at? Michael Rooker is wearing obviously the hood, but he's got one of the most distinctive voices.
Yeah.
That the whole hood is completely pointless.
Yeah.
It's like this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a
Yeah,
thing. Like,
yeah.
we know who it is.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine if Joe Pasquale was in the fucking clan. He started Stephen Hawking with a hood on. We know it's you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's the thing. Like, he doesn't give a shit at all. Like,
No.
even at the start, where they kidnap the 3 kids,
aye.
and he says, "Oh no, he's seen." I can't remember his name in this, but like, he's seen your face now. And he goes, "Well, that doesn't really matter much now, does it?" And then he just shoots him in the head. You're like, fucking it.
Yeah, I actually didn't expect them to shoot him.
Like, it's and even when they're taunting the FBI and the Navy when they're searching the swamp.
Yeah.
Like, they know they're not going to get caught.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
even says he's like that. He's like, because Hackman's like, he says, all I know is there's 5,000 black people unregistered to vote down in this state, and it'll never happen. Not over my dead body or a lot of dead. Then he says, "You'd kill Frank." And he goes, "I wouldn't give it more thought than wringing a cat's neck." Yeah.
Oh God!
He's like, and there's not a court in Mississippi that'd convict me for it.
Yeah. Oh God!
Isn't it right? Because I've got shitloads of trivia for this.
Here's my third scene I found funny.
Oh yeah.
Number 1 is She Weft. When he's trying to bang thing, where he's like, "There's a cross in the garden." He's like, "I know someone else I'd like to nail." Isn't that right, Francis? Like, that. Second of all, kicking the kid in the face. That's always going to be funny. Attacking children. I'm sorry, it just is. And the third is when they're chatting to that guy. When he's coming out of the court, and the interviewer goes to him like, he starts going, "No, I'm going to set the record straight. You guys have all got the wrong idea of us people down in Mississippi. So I'm going to set the record straight. It's all these Jews, blacks, and mongrels." And I go, "Oh no, that's exactly what I thought. That's exactly. I thought he was going to try the complete opposite."
That's Tobolowsky. That's the client. He's like, "We don't accept the Jews because they killed Christ. We don't accept papists because they worship a Roman dictator. The Turks, the Negroes."
I was sitting there going like,
Orientals.
He goes, "I better set the record straight because you guys have been writing some horrible shit about us," and then just went and said the most racist tirade I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, "Well, that's exactly what that fucking made me laugh." Who are the mongrels?
The mongrel. I don't know who the mongrels are.
There was
Did not say Mongols. I thought it was Mongols.
Was it Mongols?
Aye.
Right. Okay.
That's not what we would, in terms of a playground insult, call Mongols. Mongols were from an area of Eastern Asia.
Yeah, as a
Mongols.
Mongolian.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Right, that answered that. Thank you.
I've totally forgot as well. Another great actor, fucking the mayor, is the boot sergeant out of Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh God, I should have known.
Yeah. Fucking class.
I have to watch Full Metal Jacket. It's been so long. I barely remember any of it.
What was that? Right.
That's so funny.
Right. Very quickly. Oh yeah, I've actually quite a lot. There was a weird scene where I don't know why it made me curious. The sheriff's alibi for not being there the night they killed the 3 kids is he was playing poker for 3 hours, and then Hackman says he lost $11.38. What kind of fucking low stakes game was this? Two things that I found very interesting, right, is, do you know the term the N word, that, like when people don't want to say
don't know what it is.
that word. When people don't want to say that word, they will say the N word, right? Now, that was prior to that term being invented, you just had to say it, right? There was no thing where they would go the N word. You either said it or you didn't. Do you know what the first use of the term the N word was?
No. Oh,
and
God.
who it was by?
It was me. No,
Kanye on Twitter.
Yeah, He's selling. Did you see, by the way, he's selling KKK hoods and his merch?
Did you not suck his cousin's dick as well? Can you? I've seen something about this.
Anyway, no, I don't know. It's not Huckleberry Finn, was it?
No, it's not. It was, I'll give you the exact year. It was in 1995 that the term was first used.
What?
The term, the N-word. That's the first time that was ever first used.
Sorry, not the actual...
Not the actual words. No,
sorry,
it's been about,
I get you now.
It's been about for years.
Yeah.
No, to avoid saying it, but to say the N-word, the very first time it was used was during the O.J. Simpson trial. Johnny Cochran said it.
Interesting.
And ever since then, that's just been the term you would use when you don't want to use the word.
If you asked me who Johnny Cochran was, I thought it was
Johnny Cochran!
I thought it was like a country singer.
No, it's Johnny Cash.
I know Johnny Cash. Yeah. Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran!
You wouldn't have been able to be a KK man. They would know.
They would know, yeah.
That's Johnny Cochran.
They would know because he's black. That would be the first indication, I imagine. Johnny Cochran.
Dave Chappelle had a great Black Klansman skit.
Right.
I can't even remember all of it, but genuinely, like, it was in the Chappelle show about a black guy as a clan member, like a grand wizard. It's so fucking funny.
The other...
That's a good fact.
It is quite a good fact, isn't it? The other thing I found very funny was that... do you know the bit when they are... So there's like a kid, and again, this is what you were saying about Gene Hackman fucking up Frances McDormand's life. They largely fuck up the whole county's life.
Oh, I did.
Because they steamroll in there, get what they do, solve the case, and then fuck off and leave this incredible mess behind. But they do it right from the start when Defoe's trying to be all fucking look at me and sits with a. In the black section of the restaurant, and then ends up that kid gets a fucking pasting, because the kid gives him fuck all. He immediately says, I don't want to talk to you, sir," and then gets up and leaves. But then the clan still batter fuck at him. The bit, see the bit where he's been beat up, and then they stick him in a cage in a cotton field, right? So when they were filming, it wasn't cotton season. Is
that feathers?
No, they had to they had to basically stick cotton on all of the plants, right? And Alan Parker, who's the director, said it was so bizarre. We were filming a film about racism, but it was an entire white crew sticking cotton back on plants. He was like, just a fucking surreal afternoon of a load of white people in a field sticking cotton back on.
Fucking hell. So you're going to pick it again?
Yeah.
Alan Parker, and he, because I was saying before, I find it funny. I didn't put two and two together. I knew the name that he did, The Commitments.
Commitments is our second Parker film.
He's from Matlock outside Sheffield.
Yeah.
Which is really funny in this, because you reckon like they were just like Gene Hackman and William Dafoe, or like that is, that's awful. I feel the amount of racism in Mississippi is like, you see back home.
I know.
I mean, to Sheffield away.
Yeah. We actually have a place in the Midlands called the Black Country. There is. Right, I'll give you some facts, because there is quite a good one about Alan Parker. Alan Parker turned down Samuel L. Jackson for a role in this.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said he didn't sound Southern enough. Whereas Samuel L. Jackson is from Chattanooga in Tennessee, and Alan Parker's from Matlock. But it was like, it's not the right accent. Sorry.
Wow.
So this film inspired by an actual murder of three civil rights activists. Horrible thing is, so the guys are called James Chaney, Michael Schwerner, and Andrew Goodman. The first two were Jewish lads, and then a black guy. It was exactly the same kind of thing. They were buried in a quarry. When they did the coroner, after they did the autopsy, found red clay inside Andrew Goodman's lungs to indicate that he was the only one that was buried alive. Stephen Tobolowsky.
Yeah.
The speech he does, which is basically a Klan meeting, most of the people in that scene were actual Klan members who showed up under the pretense that it was a Klan meeting and were showing their Klan ID cards to the directors and stuff.
Fuck's sake.
Yep. I talked about the sex scenes.
Jesus Christ.
These two are the most interesting, right? So you know how they do the clips? Like there's interview clips where it's almost like news reports, where they're like, how do you think the Negroes are treated in this? And they're like, well, they're treated just about as best as they deserve to be. And you get that woman goes, well, the thing is, they're not like us. They're dirty. They don't wash. They don't look funny. And the woman looks like a fucking tortoise. She's like the most crumpled in woman I've ever seen in my life. They were all actual people.
Oh no.
Where they filmed it, right? And they were just real life extras. And Parker prompted them to say, this is what we're going to ask, but never gave them any lines, and they just improvised it. And he said it was terrifying that, because this was filmed in 88, and this is set in 64. So what's that, 24 years later? And he said it was terrifying how natural it was for them to say those lines. Like, it's kind of exploitative in a wee bit.
Yeah.
But it was like none of that was prompted. We just asked a question. Imagine you were in this time, and he said it was so natural to them to just be still like that. Because it's fucking mental. Because that would be like, so that's 24 years. So 24 years away from now, 2001. Like, because when you look at that in 89, and then they've got the thing at the start where there's like the different drinking fountains for the different colours of people.
Yeah. I that one looked funny because I thought the coloured one looked better.
It did. It was more spray.
Yeah. I was like, I'd
go to the cut. Well, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't, but
you would.
You'd get fucking done in.
You'd get done in.
This is a really cool fact. This is a proper.
I'm not an N-word lover, please.
This is a really cool fact, right? So, Alan Parker and his crew whipped up batches of what they called OMD, which stood for Old Man's Dick. Right? I know. I was like, where the fuck's this fact going? But, so it was a mix of purple, yellow, and brown paint, right? Okay. And they would mix it all up into this mixture. And they painted it on all of the sets, right? So every chair, every building, every tabletop, absolutely every prop, there was all done this. And then it was made up into a dye, and all the costumes for everybody were dipped into it, right? And then it was Tobolowsky, who was watching the process, went to the film's premiere and said to Alan Parker, what was the point in you doing that? Because none of it showed up on screen. And Parker then said, he said, what did you see? And Tobolowsky said that he hadn't seen any of this mixture. And then Parker replied, I didn't ask you what you didn't see, I asked you what you saw. And then Tobolowsky suddenly realised that his eyes were drawn to the black actor's skin, because the OMD stuff, the only thing that it couldn't touch was human skin. So it was to dull every single other thing in every shot apart from the skin.
Cool.
Because it was a film about race relations, they wanted the viewer to completely concentrate on the colour of people's skins.
Great.
Fucking filmmaking. What a... that's the shit that fucking pumps my nads.
Fuck's sake. That was great. Good facts today.
Yeah. What other stuff? Oh, Grand Cyclops. That's what they asked what he was. Are you a Grand Cyclops of the Mississippi chapter of the Ku Klux Klan?
Chapters as well.
Grand Cyclops? Imagine being known as a Grand Cyclops. You fucking nerd.
Yeah, they are such... Yeah.
What else?
I think Gene Hackman is definitely the horny guy, by the way, in this show.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, Hackman immediately. Do you reckon every single case, Hackman, every single small town they go to...
someone and ruined their life.
Horses are married women.
Horses a fucking suspect's wife.
The amount of devastation that Hackman has left in his wake. Hackman's done more damage than the Klan have done in those small towns.
Pumping my way downtown.
The only other two things I found, one I found annoying. I found it annoying when they were going and chucking petrol bombs into barns and churches, and then they were exploding like a fucking Mission Impossible film. How's that happening?
Yeah, one or two of them.
Where's the explosion coming from?
One of them, the phone, the little mailbox exploded too.
What the fuck? That was too much. And the other thing I found funny was when Hackman first goes into the beauty parlour and he goes, I'm really not happy with my look just now. What do you think you could do with this? And a woman goes, I don't think there's much you can do with that cue ball. It's like, yes, cue ball.
Cue ball.
Yeah, the only other thing was that the Spike Lee criticism was Spike Lee's a bit of an arsehole, I find. I like his films, but Spike Lee basically criticises every film about black issues that he hasn't made.
Yeah.
And so we've talked about it before. Basically, we've kind of talked about it already in this film, where there's like this idea of the saviors, the FBI were the white saviors, white knights running in and helping these poor black people that couldn't help themselves. But then we've talked about before this idea, this trope in films of the magical Negro.
Oh, jeez.
Right? Because I think like Bagger Vance is apparently like the archetype of this.
The fucking Oracle in the Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's just
So there's this
worst.
proper trope across Hollywood where there's a magical Negro.
Yeah. They're coming in fucking full of wisdom always.
And it's the wee kid in this. It's the wee kid that keeps praying, and he's like the guy that he convinces his pal to. And he's like the first guy to go, you're looking in the wrong place. Why are you asking these questions? And then Defoe goes, why aren't you scared?
Yeah.
And he goes, why aren't you? You fucking... Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that thing about I get it, right? Because I definitely agree. Like, I mean, of all people that pretend the FBI for fucking the good guys and all of this, right? But there's also the fact that I know he's saying like there's no. Yeah, I just think it wasn't about black empowerment. I think the film really was supposed to focus on how shite white people were.
Yeah.
Like that's why all the joke, everything was like, well, what is wrong with these people?
Yeah.
I think they were just like
It was, aye. It's especially, even with the start where, like, because Hackman's from Mississippi anyway, and he was a sheriff, and he constantly tells stories about his dad.
Oh,
he
aye.
tells a story about his dad, like, killing the black guy's mule because he was just jealous of him and basically ruined the guy's life. And then he says, like, he didn't realise that what was making him angry and ill was being poor. And and that's kind of related to
it is,
to get very philosophical about it, exactly what society's like today. Find a scapegoat rather than going, this is why. This is right, rather than like fucking,
it's America going like, you know, it's not Elon's the problem, the guy with 900 million quid. It's the guy next door.
It's reform going. It's not the fact that no massive multinationals being taxed. That's not why everyone's being kept down poor. It's because of the fucking immigrants. That's why it's because of those people. So it creates this narrative of people just to be angry at anything for their own scenario. Right. I will finish off. I'm going to ask you about.
I think we're the only podcast, by the way, that would follow up Romeo Must Die with Mississippi Burning.
Yeah, that's why we're fucking class. Genuinely. Tell me one other fucking podcast that would do that. Like, God knows. See if next week's fucking is like the clumps.
The next one's our next week's Dogma, remember?
Oh, so it's Dogma, yeah, of course. Listen, we fucking tackled, right? So we've done a shitey fucking rap kung fu film. Then we've tackled the race issue. Next week we're tackling religion. Fucking come on. Fucking.
Yeah, and we'll be on the Patreon now after this discussing popes and any other questions.
Right, I'm going to ask you about so that because I think this deserved certainly wait, no, it did get nominated, right? Okay. So tell me if you think it deserved each Oscar more than the other one, right? So the other nominees that year were Working Girl.
Don't know it.
Seen that? Melanie Griffith and Sigourney Weaver and Harrison Ford.
No.
It's about fucking workplace sexual relations. Dangerous Liaisons.
I've seen Dangerous Liaisons.
Shite.
Yeah, terrible.
The Accidental Tourist.
I don't know what that is.
Never seen it. Winner was Rain Man.
No, I like this better than
I
Rain
think
Man.
this is better than Rain Man.
Yeah, definitely.
I can see why Rain Man, because it was the first fucking film that ever dealt with autism, but I think this is better than Rain Man. So I think with that...
He's got autism?
I think with that he deserved... So it was like...
Okay, right, yeah. But
So Levinson won it for directing Rain Man as well, whereas Parker probably deserves this. Hackman gets nominated for Best Actor against Max von Sydow in Pell the Conqueror.
Yeah, I like Max von Sydow. He's fucking good.
Edward James Olmos in Stand and Deliver.
No.
Tom Hanks in Big.
Oh, fuck off.
What?
That's another one tackling autism. So to speak.
What an insane
That's
fucking...
terrible shite.
So then Hackman
I
and
hate that fucking film.
Hoffman won for Rain Man. Why the fuck is Tom Hanks? Imagine going around. What the fuck were the clips like? Right? You've got fucking Hoffman portraying accurately for the first time a person with severe autism. You've got Hackman fucking taking down racists in the Deep South, and then it cuts to the clip of fucking Hanks playing a big piano. Fuck off.
It'd be actually funnier if they followed up the Rain Man one with the big one.
Absolute farce. Defoe didn't even get nominated.
He was very good in it, but
Kevin Kline won for A Fish Called Wanda, which is fair actually. McDormand got nominated. Gina Davis won. Gina Davis has won an Oscar. Fucking hell, that's insane.
I mean, Frances McDormand's been better in films now. I think she is.
Jesus, the best actress that year was Jodie Foster for The Accused. What a grim fucking year for films that was. Imagine that's a double feature. Mississippi Burning and then The Accused. So how was your first date?
Fucking hell, I don't need to look at it.
There was a lynching and then a gang rape. So, and then we went to the cinema.
Fuck's sake. Well, on that
what were we worried about?
What an end to the episode.
Give the fucking kings any subject and we'll get a good laugh out of it.
Oh, God. Yeah. They're going to get clipped up saying that I found it hilarious, and then they're going to clip the film of Michael Ritter booking a black child playing, and me going,
Right, Dogma next week.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think I've only ever seen it once.
I remember Salma Hayek, I think's in it.
Salma Hayek's in it. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck,
yeah.
Jane Silent Bob, Chris Rock's in it.
Is he?
Alanis Morissette plays God.
I remember that. Yeah.
Good. We can talk about Alanis Morissette as well. Never talked about Alanis Morissette in this podcast before.
Not enough.
Alanis Morissette. I'm fucking huge fan of Alanis Morissette.
Yeah, I am too.
Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope you've enjoyed. I think we've done all right. I think we've done well to tackle this. Yeah.
Yeah.
This week, we're going to do the Patreon now. There is an added incentive now for the Patreon, because not only do you get it sometimes a full day before everyone else, you get our bonus episodes, of which we will be doing a lot more exciting stuff soon. You get us doing an extra episode, you get special episodes, and we're going to have guests soon. You also will now, hopefully, I don't know if it'll happen for this episode, but probably the next one, we're going to have ads, because we've reached a stage where we're going to monetize this by having ads in the podcast,
just so we can actually fucking do it.
Yeah, but if you don't want to listen to those ads, fucking get on the Patreon. You don't have to, and it's what is it only
$2.50? I think
$2.50 a month. $2.50 a fucking month.
I think it's $2.50 was what I said it at, but they add like it'll end up like £3. I think.
Aye, £3 a month.
$2.90 or something. I remember they were like, oh, but it charges an extra, and I was like, well, I'm just fucking telling me that at the start.
Aye.
Don't tell me what I'm getting from it. Tell me what.
Yeah, that's not that bad. That's good.
It is.
Some right shite podcasts charge way more than that.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking hell.
I know. I actually got people like I've had 2 people like, why did you charge so little?
Aye.
And I was like,
because
well,
we're decent.
Yeah.
That's why.
Don't want to do what Emil and the Sniffers are doing.
What are they doing?
Charging too much. It's not punk at all.
For gigs?
Aye. Disappointed me.
Nah. Listen, we will never shaft you.
Big rate now, so it's like tomorrow, next week, it's £50. Just after this, like
for one episode.
Yeah, one episode.
That one episode where they talk about which Pope's going to be next.
Oh, fuck's sake!
The Halcyon, the golden £50 episode. Was it any good? Not really.
No, wasn't worth it at all.
It was mostly them just reading stuff out about popes.
Oh, they have a funny question too.
Oh God. Oh yeah, I know exactly what question it is as well.
I've sold you down the river with it though. There is.
All right. Okay. Thank the fucking Lord. So if you want to see that, tune in. But thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.